Hi, Dad. Thanks for stopping by. Does your daughter know what you do for a living? You might be saying, well, of course she does. She knows that I'm a construction worker, an office worker, an accountant, a truck driver, whatever you're doing. But upon further examination, meaning asking her, no, do you really know what Dad does for a living? Many times I'm guessing that you haven't had that conversation with her and she really has no way of knowing what you do with 40, 50, 60 hours of your day. But if you think about you, Dad, how you build relationships, many of the time those relationships are built around what you do for a living. If you meet someone, the first question is, what's your name? And the second question is, what do you do for a living? And many of those conversations that you have with friends that you have are things that are happening at work, things you like at work, things you don't like at work. And so that is many times what you want to talk about. Okay, so let's go back to your daughter. So if you've never had a conversation with her about what you do at work, and I mean what you do at work, not what your job title is, how can she have a conversation with you about something that you're very interested in? So my suggestion to you is that you become very intentional about talking to her about your work. By that I mean sometime when you're having a cup of coffee, when you're in the car together, that you bring it up and say, daughter, do you know what Dad does for a living? And she'll probably give the simple answer. And it's an obvious question for you to say, well, do you know what that means, or do you know exactly what I do? She will give an answer or she won't. If she does know what's going on, then you can move into a story about what is going on at work, with work, very typically of what you do with one of your friends, because your daughter is your friend. If she doesn't understand that and is getting this blank stare like, yeah, Dad, but I really don't care, you can have a story ready to move forward. And by that I mean telling her the story about how you ended up becoming whatever you're doing. Because stories are one of those things that build bridges and give us reference points. So by giving her a story of how you got into the career you were in, she's understanding and going, I'm going to have a career sometime also. So it's likely that she would like that story. If not, don't worry about it. If you bring it up again after giving her some information, she'll process and you'll process, and it won't be too long where she can understand what Dad does every day. Something very important to him, very important to the family, and more importantly is important to her. So be intentional about it. Have a story about work as a backup to the conversation, and have fun having a conversation with one of your good friends about your work. Thanks for stopping by.